Welcome to Informed Sources on News Channel 3, where we talk about the week's big stories with local voices. Hi there, I'm Shay Arthur. Greg is off this week. Thanks for joining us tonight. In a moment, I'll introduce our first guest. But first, here are tonight's hot topics. A call to action from the Department of Justice sparks a hard look at juvenile justice here in Shelby County. We'll discuss the changes that followed and the work that still needs to be done with the man who has been involved in it all, Dr. David Roush. Also tonight, celebrating Pride Month in the Mid-South, we'll talk with the Executive Director of Out Memphis, Molly Quinn, about the importance of pride and the issues that are affecting the LGBTQ+ community. And later, our Shay Simon goes one-on-one with Mississippi's First Lady, Ely Reeves. She'll tell us about the Mississippi Serves campaign that's encouraging people across the Magnolia State to volunteer their time to help beautify their communities. First up tonight, juvenile justice reform in Shelby County. This week, a new report highlights the changes that have been made in the local juvenile court system in the last decade. The report, which was written by juvenile justice expert Dr. David Roush, shows significant improvements at the Shelby County Juvenile Detention Center. The juvenile justice system was called out by the Department of Justice, that was back in 2012, in a scathing report that showed a disproportionate number of minorities in juvenile custody, along with due process and protection from harm violations. Following that report, the county made several changes, including shifting control of the Juvenile Justice Center to the Shelby County Sheriff's Office. Since then, according to Dr. Roush's report, there has been a significant drop in self-harm incidents, use of force, and assaults in that center. And we're joined now by the author himself, Dr. David Roush, to discuss the report and its findings. Dr. Roush, thanks for being here.
Thank you very much, Shay, and thank you for calling attention to the good things that have happened in Shelby County.
Yeah, let's dive right into it. You've written books about best practices in juvenile facilities. You were brought on by Shelby County several years ago, and now you filed this 41-page extensive report over what's transpired here really within the last decade. What are some of your biggest takeaways from this?
Well, first, I think I need to preface my comments by saying that you did a good job of introducing the issue with respect to protection from harm issues. I want you to know that I was the one that wrote that report, and so I've been involved from the very beginning, and also served as the one who was essentially monitoring compliance with protection from harm. And so throughout that process, there were several things that Shelby County did remarkably well. In addition to embracing the DOJ involvement as an opportunity for change. And so what we were able to look at for protection from harm, and protection from harm is driven by the harmful things, as you talked about, restraints, assaults, etc. And we saw a reduction in that, and we were able to say that the reductions actually occurred because we spent 2 years in the process building a data metric that would allow us to reliably track all of these critical incidents. And that was one of the key principles of the JDAI reform, and that was, data-driven decisions. So we were able, by the end of 2014, to have the report card to the point that it was telling us exactly what was going on, and we saw these huge drops in the whole protection from harm negative indicators. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, you know, something that really stuck out to me in that report was those youth-centered values. You wrote the Shelby County Sheriff's Office sent clear messages to youth, staff, and the public. Juveniles are not adults and detainees are children, not someone else's trouble, dangerous, or junior criminals. Now, the beauty of the Shelby County experience is how powerfully staff helped youth without sacrificing that accountability. And you also really highlighted the work of 2 women leaders there at that facility. How do you believe this played a role in implementing this change?
Well, I do think that both of the women involved, Deidre Bridgeforth and Deborah Fessenden, were a really good combination. But the essence of the values-centered approach is is a key to changing juvenile justice and juvenile justice facilities. And Bridgeforth was very clear. In my role as protection from harm monitor, we would sit and review physical restraint videos, and this is really before the change began. And my role was to watch the videos with Ms. Bridgeforth, and I would stop the videos and say, okay, here's a place where the staff member could have done something different. Mm-hmm. One video, I stopped it and I turned and there she sat in tears. And she essentially said, we can't treat our children like this. It's going to stop. And at that point in time, I knew in my heart, wait a minute, big change was about to occur. And with her motivation and with Fessenden's understanding of the system and how to bring about structural changes, it really set the foundation for change. And then once you've got that, then you can build relationships. And the powerfully positive relationships based on a lot of positive youth development principles, adolescent development. We were sensitive to neurobiology issues, trauma-related factors. So essentially the things that were most troubling youth and generating a lot of the inappropriate behaviors were things that all of a sudden youth were looking at staff as individuals or resources who could help them solve that. And over the years, kids that I've worked with, even the most difficult ones, don't want to be in that kind of a situation.
Right, we're all looking for change here. Dr. Rausch, final thoughts looking ahead here in about a minute or less. For the next decade, what else needs to be done? What improvements need to be made to be successful there at the detention facility?
Well, I do think that there needs to be a continued expansion of programs, and they're very good. There also needs to be some connection with community so that there can be a greater transfer of these skills and opportunities to the community situation.
All right, Dr. Rausch, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you being with us.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
All right, have a good day. Have a good weekend.